Hello. I'm so sorry I can't be with you on our first day back, but welcome to our art gallery. Today, we're going to be starting micography. If you look around our art studio, we have some contemporary examples of it and some ancient examples of it, but you're going to be doing your own portrait in micography. Micography is also called microcalligraphy. It's a Jewish art form developed in the 9th century with parallels in Christianity and Islam using minute Hebrew letters to form representational, geometric, and abstract designs. Here's two examples. One is this ship, which you could barely see the letters, and the other is a very huge close-up where again, you could barely see the letters, but they make up the lines of the poet's or sage's face. Micography draws a design, portrait, or scene associated with the subject by using the words composed of tiny letters, whose forms are barely legible to the naked eye. Widely used in medieval Hebrew manuscripts, micography experienced a revival at the end of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century. It has been esteemed by Jews because it makes it possible to draw a picture of a sacred event without casting away or getting rid of the words that describes it in a classical religious text. And in Judaism, the words and the numbers in the letters of the words are just as important as the story. So this way, micography permits the welding together or putting together the story or a picture of a saint with the very words that he uttered or what he said, which were written in praise of him. So it puts together the words, the number of the letters in the words, and the picture, and it's a complete picture together. So here are some contemporary examples of micography. This one right here is very similar to what you'll be doing. And this is an advertisement, so it's used in contemporary advertisements. Here are some other examples used in advertisements. You can see it says wall over here, border over here, tables over here, chairs. Over here it says drawers, shoes, dress, wall. Here's an example where the words have nothing to do with the picture, but they're just wrapped around the car to fit the shape of the car. Here's a very famous one where it says, "Yes, we can," and "change and hope" on the picture of Barack Obama done on the computer. Here's a very lovely one, and even though you can't necessarily read the words because they're done in Asian typeface, they change the value of the words to give some value to the face. Except for right down here, it says, "Can you keep a secret?" And I don't know why it says that. Over here, they've changed the size of the letters of the words to help emphasize the hair and the strands of hair and the body of the hair and give it some shape and body and help give the lines of the hair some real, so it's not one big blob. So they've changed the size of the letters. And here's Biggie Smalls. And here's a short video talking about a French version of micography.
Among the great poets of literary history, certain names like Homer, Shakespeare, Milton, and Whitman are instantly recognizable. However, there's an early 20th century great French poet whose name you may not know. Guillaume Apollinaire. He was a close friend and collaborator of artists like Picasso, Rousseau, and Chagall. He coined the term surrealism, and he was even suspected of stealing the Mona Lisa in 1911. During his short lifetime, he created poetry that combined text and image in a way that seemingly predicted an artistic revolution to come. In the late 19th and early 20th century Paris, the low-rent districts of Montmartre and Montparnasse were home to every kind of starving artist. It was all they could afford. These painters, writers, and intellectuals, united in their artistic passion and counterculture beliefs, made up France's bohemian subculture, and their works of art, literature, and intellect would shake up the world. At the turn of the 20th century, within this dynamic scene, art critic, poet, and champion of the avant-garde, Guillaume Apollinaire was a well-known fixture. As an art critic, Apollinaire explained the Cubist and Surrealist movements to the world, and rose to the defense of many young artists in the face of what was often a xenophobic and narrow-minded public. As a poet, Apollinaire was passionate about all forms of art, and a connoisseur of medieval literature, especially calligraphy and illuminated initials. As a visionary, Apollinaire saw a gap between two artistic institutions. On one side was the popular, highly lauded traditional art forms of the time. On the other, the forms of artistic expression made possible through Surrealism, Cubism, and new inventions like the cinema and the phonograph. Within that divide, through the creation of his most important contribution to poetry, the calligram, Guillaume Apollinaire built a bridge. Apollinaire created the calligram as a poem picture, a written portrait, a thoughts drawing, and he used it to express his modernism and his desire to push poetry beyond the normal bounds of text and verse and into the 20th century. Some of his calligrams are funny, like the Lettres au Sillon. Some of them are dedicated to his young dead friends like La Colombe Poignardée et le Jet d'eau. Some of them are the expression of an emotional moment, as is Il pleut. It's raining women's voices as if they had died even in memory. And it's raining you as well, marvelous encounters of my life, oh little drops. Those rearing clouds begin to neigh a whole universe of auricular cities. Listen if it rains while regret and disdain weep to an ancient music. Listen to the bonds fall off which hold you, above and below. Each calligram is intended to allow readers to unchain themselves from the regular experience of poetry and feel and see something new. Lettres au Sillon is first an image to be seen before even the words are read. Text-only elements combine with words in shapes and forms. Two circular forms, one locked in a square, the other more free on the page in the shape of a spiral. Together they create a picture that hints towards Cubism. Then on closer reading of the text, the descriptive words within suggest the image of an aerial view of the Eiffel Tower. They give tribute to electromagnetic waves of the telegraph, a new form of communication at the time. Undoubtedly, the deeply layered artistic expressions in Apollinaire's calligrams are not just a brilliant display of poetic prowess from a master of the form. Each calligram itself is also a snapshot in time, encapsulating the passion, the excitement, and the anticipation of all the bohemian artists of Paris, including Apollinaire, most of whom were well ahead of their time, and with their innovative work, eagerly grasping for the future.
So we're going to be looking at line, just basic line. How does it work? How do we use line in this project? We're going to be looking at contour. How will we be using contour? And advanced contour. Take a look at this. How will this influence how you do your project? How does contour line play a role in this? And of course, portraits. You're going to need a portrait of yourself. So you can use a class portrait, a school portrait, or you can do what I did, which I used photo booth and I took a picture of myself. You could take a selfie and print it out. So here I am. Hello. And I took a portrait of myself on photo booth and I just printed it out black and white. It should be about 8 by 10 to help you out the most. So what are you going to do today while I'm not here? So today you need to come up with a list of things. You need to brainstorm, what is identity? What does identity mean to you? Who are you? Who are you today in 8th grade, March 1st? What is the meaning of identity? What does it mean to identify as somebody? What do you identify as? What groups do you identify in? Are you a Prescott Wolf? A are you a girl? Are you a boy? Do you identify as either? Do you not identify as one or the other? Identify Identity plays so much in our lives. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. Who are you? What words represent you? Come up with a list of words that represent you, and you're going to need so many words. So you're going to be making lists of words today. That's your homework today. What phrases represent you? What phrases represent you? Think about that. What quotes represent you? What are your favorite quotes? I have so many favorite quotes. One of my favorites is "Listen carefully, white life whispers." That's one I included. One of my dad's favorite quotes is "Better than a stick in your eye." So, think about what your favorite quotes are. And what songs and poems represent you? So, I had a song in mind. I have a poem in mind. And I also actually have a quote that was a Theodore Roosevelt quote in mind because it took up a lot of space. So you're going to think about that and make a list. That's what you're going to do today is you're going to be making lists of all of these words that represent who you are and what you are. Like I listed that I went to Italy. That's my favorite place. I listed my favorite foods, my favorite flowers, my favorite movies, my kids' names, my friends' names. I thought of everything I possibly could think of. Okay. And then, so for tomorrow, you're going to need your list for March 2nd. Tomorrow, you're going to need your list of things. And you're going to need a picture of you to move forward on this project. So it could be, you want mostly just your face, and it could be an older picture, it could be a class picture, but you want a picture of you that you can print out. If you can't print it out, I have another way you can go about doing it from your computer, but it's best if you can print it out. Okay? So I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing all your lovely faces again. And I'm sorry again that I couldn't be here today. Bye.